Hello, my name is Ann Shade. I'm here to tell you about myself, my novels, my writing. I write les fiction. My current novel is Femme Tales, Modern Day Fairytale Trilogies. There's three novellas about six different characters, three main characters who are best friends, and it's their own real life fairy tales. And I have another novel coming out in January, February. It's a historical romance called Masquerade. Takes place during the 1920s, during the Harlem Renaissance here in America, during the Roaring Twenties. Has gangsters and love and sex and passion and romance, so it's got a little bit of everything for everyone. All my characters in all my novels are African American, and that's very important to me because I like to write to represent myself, my community, and I feel like I am a bit of the characters. And since I am an African American queer woman, then my characters are going to be African American queer women as well. I write about lesbians, bis. I hit all the genres, all the spectrums. I'm currently working on two other novels. One is a coming of age story, maybe a little bit about me, just a little. And the other, I'm going to into a different genre, venturing into fantasy. And I should hopefully have those ready. I write under Bold Stroke's banner, Bold Stroke Books, and they are very good to me. They are a very good publishing company, and I enjoy working with them. And I also enjoy my writing. I love my writing. It's what I do. It's a part of me. It's reaching into my soul and revealing myself to whomever picks up my books. So, which is once again why it's important for me to write African American characters in my novels, write beautiful, strong African American women who their being lesbian or their being queer is not the main thing. Them being strong women, them being beautiful women, them being women with strong personalities and kind and loving personalities. It's not all about being, a thug or being very feminine or anything like that. So it's important for me to represent my characters in a good, wonderful, positive, and loving light. Um, I will also do a short reading from Femme Tales, my current novel. The first two main characters in the first story, which is Beast, based on Beauty and the Beast. Ebony is a former rapper and currently produced music producer, and she has hired a home care nurse for a family member who has fallen ill. And this is their first, they haven't gotten along very well in the beginning. And this is their first time sitting down to dinner together, pretty much their first night alone together. And this is their start of their dinner. Belinda returned from her errands later than expected after stopping by her father's office to pick up a copy of Miss Ellis's medical history. As she entered the foyer, the door to Mrs. Ellis' apartment was open, and the soothing sound of piano jazz, followed by the aromatic scent of grilled steak, drifted toward her. She walked in to find Ebony in the kitchen, dressed in jeans, a black V-neck t-shirt, and an apron with a large lipstick kiss imprint that said "Kiss the cook or else." It was so charmingly unexpected that Belinda couldn't help but chuckle to herself. Ebony looked up as she approached. "Cherie just called. She's going to be late. She's going to be out later than she expected and won't be home for dinner, so I thought I would just finish it up, then just take mine up to my apartment so I won't bother you." "Please, don't feel obligated to leave on my account. I won't mind having the company," Belinda said. Ebony stared at her for a moment, then cleared her throat and grabbed a platter off the counter. Okay, let me just go check the steaks on the grill." She hurried out the door of the kitchen that led into the enclosed yard. Belinda realized that she had just suggested dinner alone with Ebony. They barely made it through the two business-related meetings they had already without Ebony's unprovoked dislike for her causing tension. How were they going to make it through a casual dinner? Ebony returned with steaks still sizzling on the platter. "I already set the table. I was just waiting for the steaks to finish." "Okay, let me just drop these bags off and I'll be right out," Belinda said. She walked to the guest room, dropped her shopping bags and backpack onto the bed, then stopped in the bathroom to wash her hands. As she did, she found herself gazing into the mirror above the sink to check her hair and what little makeup she wore, then stopped herself. "Stop it! It's dinner for your client, not a date, she reprimanded her reflection. After taking a deep breath to settle the fluttering in her belly, she walked out of the bathroom. As she reached the dining room, Ebony was just setting a bottle of wine on the table. I didn't know what you would like, she said apologetically. There's also beer, soda, or iced tea if you prefer, and I can throw a salmon steak on the grill if you don't eat meat. The wine will be good, and I never say no to a good steak, Belinda said as she sat at the place setting across from Ebony. When Ebony actually smiled, Belinda's heart skipped a beat as that small gesture softened Ebony's face so much she almost looked like a different person. It was gone just as quickly as it had come, as if Ebony hadn't realized she'd done it until too late. To Belinda's disappointment, it was replaced by a frown as Ebony sat and began filling her plate with food. You know, you should do that more often, Belinda reached for the wine bottle. Ebony glanced at her in confusion. Do what? Smile. It's not going to make you any less tough than you already are. Ebony's brow raised in question. You've been here for one day and you think you know me already? No, I can only go by what I've seen since we first met yesterday. This is really good, Belinda said as she tried a slice of the steak. Do you use a marinade or a dry rub? Ebony laid her silverware down, gazing intently at Belinda. It's a special marinade Mama Ellis uses, and what have you learned about me in this short time that makes you think you know me so well? Belinda set her silverware down. If she was going to get herself fired on the first day, she might as well go out with guns blazing. Okay, just remember you asked, Belinda said. You're a control freak with a hint of compulsive disorder. You believe that your beast persona is the only reason people take you seriously, when you actually depend on it yourself to hide behind and mask your own insecurities. Unless they're in your immediate circle, you rarely let people in. If you do allow someone into the circle, it's only on the surface because you know it's only a matter of time before they do something to prove that you can't trust them. Unfortunately, the only people who get to see the real you, the devoted, sensitive, caring you, are the other two people who share this house with you. Belinda waited, nervously watching the tick that appeared in Ebony's right jaw and bracing herself for the storm that was about to blow. The last thing she had expected to happen was for a smirk to appear on Ebony's face, followed by a burst of laughter. Belinda watched her in wide-eyed surprise. Well, that certainly wasn't the reaction I expected. Not that I'm complaining, Belinda said. Well, let's call it even, because that wasn't what I expected you to say. That hit a little too close to home, Ebony said. I apologize if I've overstepped any boundaries. Belinda was hesitant to relax her guard. She found herself comparing Ebony to a landscape puzzle where there's so much detail that you can't tell one puzzle piece from the next unless you really pay attention to match the shapes of the pieces within the puzzle. Belinda had always been good at puzzles, and she was beginning to piece together what made this complex woman tick. The extent Ebony had gone to make sure Miss Ellis was well taken care of, the immense love that showed in her face when she spoke to her sister, the obvious time and care she took in preparing dinner, the unexpected laughter rather than anger in reaction to what Belinda said about her, combined with the serious philosophical street thug persona of the beast, made up one intriguing and sexy puzzle. That's it. I hope you liked it. I hope it'll tease you enough to pick up Femme Tales, Modern Day Fairytale Trilogy, available at Bold Stroke Books. Please feel free to provide feedback for me. I can be reached at Ann Shade Romance on Facebook, Ann Shade 3 on Twitter. I guess there are two other Ann Shades besides me, and Ann Shade Romance on Instagram. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit of me, and I hope to see you soon within either the pages of my books or at another event like this. Enjoy and have a wonderful day. Thank you.